Well, he's done what he promised to do. The new president of the United States, Donald Trump, has signed an executive order to pull out of one of the biggest trade deals in the world, the Transpacific Partnership. It was the centerpiece of Barack Obama's so-called pivot to Asia and covers about 40% of the planet's economy. Arabella Munro explains.
Everyone knows what that means, right?
The 45th president has enacted his first major foreign policy, the first step on the road to what he says will make America great again. He's signed an executive order to pull the United States out of the Trans-Pacific Partnership trade deal. After 7 years of negotiations, TPP had never been ratified. Former President Barack Obama had pushed for the 12-nation deal, partly to limit China's power in the region. But Donald Trump has warned US business leaders they'll be punished if they manufacture abroad.
If that happens, we are going to be imposing a very major border tax on the product when it comes in, which I think is fair.
That's currently not possible under the North American Free Trade Agreement between Canada, the US, and Mexico. But that's going to change too.
Anybody ever hear of NAFTA? I ran a campaign somewhat based on NAFTA, but we're going to start renegotiating on NAFTA, on immigration, and on security at the border. And Mexico has been terrific, actually, terrific. And the president has been really very amazing. And I think we're going to have a very good result for Mexico, for the United States, and for everybody involved.
Canada's ambassador to the US says his country is not the target of those negotiations, it's Mexico. The US's trade deficit with its southern neighbor was $58 billion in 2015, but it is its second biggest export market. The president's rhetoric of America First in his inauguration speech indicated these negotiations will be tough.
Every decision on trade, on taxes, on immigration, on foreign affairs will be made to benefit American workers and American families. We must protect our borders from the ravages of other countries making our products, stealing our companies, and destroying our jobs.
NAFTA came into force 23 years ago, and renegotiating it to make America first again could take several more. Arabella Munro, TRT World.
And TRT World's editor-at-large joins us now for more on Trump from Paris. Craig, TPP, it was supposed to, it never really took off, but it was supposed to bring in labour standards, environment standards, protecting patents, copyrights. It all sounds very good. And it was going to bring down barriers and trade tariffs and so on. It was going to be pretty healthy for the economy, or so they argued. What was Donald Trump's problem with it?
Well, he has a problem with anything. I mean, everything, trade-wise. TPP is dead. Look, NAFTA's on life support. He called in American business leaders today and said, you got 30 days to figure out something to stimulate the economy. He's got Theresa May, the Prime Minister of Great Brexit, coming on Friday, and there's talk that he's going to sign an independent trade deal with them that's going to push out the EU. You've got the French Socialist Party last night was vitrified in the preliminary election here. Germany's Angela Merkel, she's paralyzed at the moment that Trump is going to lump her country's trade surplus with those of Mexico and China. And in the States, you've got these democratic activists, economic activists, who are saying that Trump is the spearhead of some sort of plutocratic Praetorian Guard that's about to take over the world.
Right.
What could possibly go wrong, Matthew?
Yeah, but when he wants to dismantle trade agreements or get rid of them altogether, he is then exposing the other partners, you know, people like like Japan, Malaysia, Australia, Canada, Mexico. He's now leaving them with a useless trade pact, right?
Yes, but let's give Trump just a little inch of good news here. He's dismantling, that's the word that everyone uses. What he wants to do is renegotiate them. And his bluster that you've heard over the past 3 days since he's been president is the first step to that renegotiation. and that's not how things are done on the global stage.
That brings us back to the original question then. Which aspects of this big trade agreement, and all trade agreements, is he hoping to renegotiate and improve? And why would it be putting America first?
I have no idea which aspects of it. I mean, and I think anyone who does tell you that is you know, doesn't know what they're talking about. You know, he's done so many things that it's very hard to digest them, and he's not giving press conferences in which we can ask these questions.
Don't worry, he'll tweet something out, Craig.
Yeah, well, yeah, but he's not going to tweet the details of the federal hiring freeze or no federal cash going to pay for abroad for abortions.
Right.
He's not going to talk about the tax cuts. But the key thing here is whatever he does, he's making it retroactive to January 1st of this year. And that's why, by the way, Foxconn said today that they look to be investing $8 billion in the United States.
I see. Okay, Craig Kapitas, thank you very much for your analysis as ever. We're going to turn to